For Aryan, gardening is much more than just a hobby. Every single day, he works with soil and compost, unaware that something microscopic would be in his safest place, something deadly, something that could possibly kill him.
Boy, do I love whacking some weed. Ew, that's nasty. But it's okay because I love gardening.
Aryan, put down the shovel for once. We haven't talked in over a month because all you do is sleep and dig in that darn yard. You know what? Come inside right now. We need to talk.
I'll think about it. Let me plant these first.
That's always what you say. The soil, the plants, the garden. What about us? You haven't ever made time for us.
I'm doing this for us.
No, you aren't. You're broke. You spend your money on your terrible gardening business instead of getting me designer bags. You care about this gardening thing more than you care about me.
That's not fair. The business is gonna take off soon. Imagine what we can do with all the money.
Well, that's just going to take too long. I can't do this anymore. I'm leaving you. Aryan, ever since I got married to you, all you've ever done is dig up dirt in that yard. I let it go for long enough, but this was the last straw. I want a divorce.
Maybe it's your fault. Maybe me gardening so much is a reflection of your neglect.
What the hell are you talking about? What do you mean maybe it's my fault? Have you ever considered that me...
But money doesn't buy happiness.
What the hell are you talking about? You're broke and you have no money. I'm tired of your small drinks and getting the big value menu all the time. You know I've always wanted a Lambo, but you've never even tried to get your money up.
I guess, bro.
A year passes. Aryan is simply a shell of himself now, and he begins to get symptoms. Symptoms that might end up killing him.
I'm such a broke guy. I have no money and all I do is garden.
You sound terrible. How long have you been coughing like that?
I don't know, a few weeks maybe?
Aryan thinks this is stress, but he's wrong. This is something much worse. Something that could lead to his death.
You look thinner, too.
I'm stressed. Divorce does that to people.
Stress doesn't usually make someone cough all day.
It's probably nothing. Maybe allergies. Maybe I'm just tired.
You should see a doctor.
I don't need a doctor. I need my life back.
Aryan blamed stress, grief, and exhaustion, but inside his lungs, the infection was slowly gaining ground. Ground that he would never get back.
What?
Aryan takes NyQuil to ease the symptoms, but he doesn't know that this won't help at all. It's only going to make it worse.
My symptoms are killing me, doc. I have this horrible bloody cough that doesn't go away. I'm getting night chills and I've been losing way too much weight. You think I got something?
Sounds like tuberculosis. I'll prescribe these antibiotics, so fulfill the course completely. You'll be fine in a few weeks, so don't even worry about it. Honestly, the symptoms you're describing are pretty common. A persistent cough, weight loss, fatigue, night chills. I've seen dozens of cases that start exactly like this. Sometimes people hear coughing blood and immediately think the worst, but respiratory infections can irritate the airways and cause that too. It doesn't automatically mean something unusual is going on, Aryan.
You sure you don't want to run tests or anything? It could be something else.
I know what I'm doing. I get patients like you all the time, and then they all get better, and then I never see them again. The important thing is that you take every dose of the medication and give your body the proper time to recover. Not every illness gets better overnight, Aryan. Get some rest, drink plenty of fluids, and try not to stress yourself out. Stress can make symptoms feel worse than they actually are. Come back if things get dramatically worse, but honestly, I expect you'll be feeling better within the next few weeks.
If you say so, doc, but I don't know about this.
The diagnosis the doctor gave seemed reassuring, but it was terribly wrong. Aryan didn't have simple tuberculosis. He had a lung disease that can imitate tuberculosis for months before anyone would ever find out the truth. A truth that would kill him.
My chest feels tight. Can't catch a breath.
How long has this been happening for?
The cough has been going on for months. I hope it would go away.
Have you had repeated lung infections? The fact that this has been going on for months definitely gets my attention. Your oxygen levels are lower than I'd like to see, and the repeated infections suggest that something has been irritating or damaging your lungs for quite some time. At this point, I don't want to make any further assumptions, and we need to get more objective data before we decide what is exactly happening. We're going to run a blood work, chest imaging, and a sputum test. Right now, we're looking for anything that explains why your lungs are not recovering correctly. The goal is to identify what is causing these symptoms rather than treating them one at a time. Until we get the results back, we're going to further monitor you closely and make sure your condition remains stable for the time being.
The scans showed damage. The symptoms pointed to infection, but the usual answers didn't fit.
Aryan, I reviewed your scans, symptoms, and sputum test results. You have non-tuberculosis mycobacterial lung disease, also called NTM lung disease. NTM are bacteria found in the environment, especially in soil, dust, and water. Most people can breathe them in and never get sick, but in some cases, they can settle in the lungs and cause a long-term infection. It is possible that repeated exposure to soil and dust increased his risk. His fall into the dirt may have added to that exposure, but this infection likely develops slowly over time. The problem is that it can look like bronchitis, pneumonia, allergies, or even tuberculosis. That is why it can be missed. It can permanently damage the lungs if not treated. Aryan will need long-term treatment with multiple antibiotics, regular monitoring, and airway clearance therapy. Aryan is very sick, but we found the cause. That gave us a way to fight it. Recovery will not be quick, and his lungs may not return completely to normal, but treatment can help control the infection.
Treatment began immediately, but NTM lung disease is not cured overnight. Aryan would have to continue to face months of medication, breathing treatments, and follow-up care, all of which would be brutal.
Aryan's lungs can improve, but there may be permanent lung damage. He'll need to avoid heavy exposure to soil, dust, and standing water. If he gardens again, he will need protection, especially a mask. That is why symptoms like chronic cough, weight loss, shortness of breath, and coughing blood should never be dismissed.
I still feel weak.
That's expected. Your lungs have been fighting this infection for a long time.
I don't garden the same way anymore. My lungs made that decision for me, but I'm still here, and that's not something I take lightly. When they finally told me what it was, mycobacterium in the soil, something I've been working with my bare hands for decades, it didn't feel real. You don't expect your garden to be the thing that almost takes you out. The treatment was brutal. Months of antibiotics, breathing exercises, monitoring every little change in my chest. But every day I got through. It was a day I chose to keep fighting. Now I wear a mask outside. I see a pulmonologist every few months. My lungs have scar tissue that isn't going anywhere. That's just my reality now, and I gotta live with it. But I still go outside. I still sit by that garden. I just do it differently, smarter. And honestly, I think that's what surviving means. It doesn't mean going back to who you were. It means figuring out who you are with what you have left.
Aryan is lucky to keep his life with him, and NTM lung disease is fatal to most people, and he is fortunate that he managed to get out mostly unscathed.
Life is great now because I have a Lambo.
You look so different. Where'd you get all this money from? And can I get a ride in your Lambo?
That's fire, but I'm up now.
I'm better off without you.
No, Aryan, come back, please. I'll get married with you again.